And I do this quite often, is when things are going really well in an area and we're finally getting our act together and we're showing progress, how can I come make it more complicated and ask you to do more? But I could use your help. All the work you're doing is just wonderful, and I am so proud of it. Actually, on our tour in Italy and Germany, we got a lot of positive feedback. I know the Italians, in fact, spent some time telling me why we got to get them to come to visit Michigan, because they talk about what a great place that would be once we started talking about it. But there's a problem back home I need your help with, right here. Have you ever noticed the phenomenon as you get all these out-of-state guests coming in, that quite often they can come in and be all fired up about Michigan, and they stay fired up until they happen to go out and talk to a bunch of Michiganders? How many people have ever seen that phenomenon happen? You have somebody excited until they actually end up talking to a bunch of Michigan people. It still happens. And that's that cultural issue we need to address. And the reason I'm asking you for help is because you're on the forefront of that. You understand about being positive, about being forward-looking, and about being inclusive, about taking that attitude. And I need you to share that with your friends and neighbors, to sort of talk about it. Because we did go through a tough time. We went through a terrible decade. And a lot of people did get down on our state, or themselves. But that's not the way to stay. We all know that. The key to success is not talking about why things are difficult, but talking about the path to success. And we have that positive vision. We have a positive vision for the future, and we're going to make it happen. And it's not because of anything I'm doing or what you're doing individually. It's what we're doing together. And so I ask that you make that outreach. When you happen to run across that person talking about it in a negative way, or you got a group of people, just stop and ask them. Say, well, why do you live here? And listen to them all of a sudden say what a great state it is. Right? And simply ask the question, can we talk about the things you're excited and why you're here? And so those are the simple things we can do. Because it's about each one of us helping our neighbor and recognizing that a lot of the stuff, the junk we all saw over the last decade or even longer, you can go way back and say somebody on the east side says something against somebody on the west side or vice versa, or we cut down one other part of the state. None of that has any value. And that's why I put in that philosophy that I operate every day of relentless positive action. Don't blame anyone for anything. Don't take credit for anything. What's the problem? What's the common ground? Let's solve the problem. Let's be relentless and take on the next one and just keep going. But as I started earlier, I made that comment, and I am serious. I am an accountant by training. I'm not a very exciting guy. I need some marketing people to help me. And when I look out at this crowd, I see about 900 marketing people. And that's the message we need to spread. So that's my ask, is I need your help. And so I'm asking for your help, not just with the out-of-state visitors coming in, but with your in-state neighbor, your colleague down the street, and just asking to spend that extra 2 or 3 minutes. Because you know how it'll turn out. You won't get yelled at. They'll sort of smile and say, yeah, I need to be more positive. And just think about the power when they're more positive that next time. This is something to pass on to each and every one of us. And it's what you've already started. You did it with Pure Michigan as a brand. So we took the brand and used it other places. You're showing success. So we're figuring out how you can be an ambassador for all of Michigan in addition to your businesses. And now you can touch your neighbors' lives and friends in a positive way. To speak up. Because the greatest power we have in this state is us. And us working together. And that's one of the things I'm proudest of. We're not there yet. But the message that's happening in Michigan is we are becoming the comeback story of the United States. And that's exciting. But it's not to compete against anyone else. It's finally to recognize that we should take pride in who we are and show through teamwork we can create that environment where we have more opportunities for people today, and we have that place where our children have a brighter future than we had. And we create that path so they can learn from that to pass it along. Because I have a simple summary, a simple philosophy besides relentless positive action. Because somebody asked, how do you want to be judged someday when you're done being governor? And I'll give you 2 benchmarks. And I've been consistent ever since that question was first asked. I've said the same thing every single time. Again, I'm kind of boring. The first thing is did I do what I said I was going to do? Because that's how you should be measured. And the second one is did we create a longer-term legacy of success? It was nothing about Rick Snyder ever being governor of Michigan. But it was about creating a culture, a philosophy and attitude that can live on for decades, that people can build on, that better, smarter people can follow on to and embrace and make into something special. You're doing the same thing. If you go back 2 or 3 years, where were we? How many people were in this room? And what resources did you have? In a short span, 900 people in this room, $1 billion of spending, $3.2 million visitors, and that's only the beginning. So you should be proud of that. But let's keep it going. Let's take it to the 10 million citizens of Michigan in terms of a great tourism experience, but a great cultural experience. And let's stand together as Michiganders and say, we have reinvented our state. Keep going. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Governor Snyder. Your first year has been an excellent one for us and for this industry. We thank you again for your support. It's been fabulous. One more time. So as you know, every year we give an award or two. This year we're giving one to someone who has really led in this industry. And you know, I talked this morning about a couple of seeds that we planted back in 2006. One of them had to do with this conference and merging the conferences of Michigan State and the Lodging Association and Travel Michigan into one, hopefully bigger, better conference, and we see the results tonight of that. And the second one had to do with the first strategic plan and how that effort led to the funding in some ways and to many of the other good things that's happened in the first plan period. And now here we are about to launch plan number 2 for the industry from 2012 to 2017, the next 5 years. Well, back in 2006, there was a Michigan tourism leader who was a man with a plan. And he knew the industry needed a plan, a strategic plan, in fact. So he coaxed us, and he prodded us, he nudged us, he pestered us to fund and participate in what became the first Michigan Tourism Strategic Plan. First time ever done. His vision helped this industry get our act together and accomplish tangible results. Results that have helped us get to where we are today. And so it's for these reasons that we're going to announce tonight that the Outstanding Achievement in Tourism Award goes to Michigan State University's Don Holacek. Here he comes. I was worried.